So we're standing on 3,000 feet and it's really high, and we are here so high up to experience luxury. Luxury and on a height. Rings any bells? Well, we are here for the Toyota Hilux. Yes, it's back with a bang, and with certainly different pricing, much more approachable for the person who's getting it. Now this is the Hilux, you have seen it, but we're just gonna redo everything and show you across the whole car and how it drives. Like most pickup trucks, it's easy to see over the Toyota Hilux bonnet through its large windscreen, as it offers an unobstructed view. You also get front sensors, rear camera, and a tire angle monitor that helps you drive around through this massive vehicle. Yes, it's larger than it may appear. It in fact is longer than the Fortuner. Like its underpinnings, Hilux shares its diesel engine with the Fortuner. The reliable 204 HP 2.8-liter diesel engine, which makes 420 Nm of torque with 6-speed manual, 500 Nm of torque with 6-speed automatic. Yes, you can get the car in 6 manual, IMT or the automatic transmission. We drove the 6 automatic in our test and it was quick thanks to its 500 Nm of torque. And if I ever wanted more, there is always a power mode that injects more fuel, causing more combustion for that extra thrust. The 6-speed automatic gearbox does well in any mode. I always liked the gated gear shifter on Toyota, so it was great to shift between different modes and from manual inputs of the gear lever. As the Toyota Hilux is built for adventure as a core, the suspension causes it to bounce and jolt over potholes and ruts at slow speed and lean noticeably in tighter corners. Things improve with heavy loads in the back, which we never got to try. Enter the rough terrains and it feels like home. Make your own roads and take the uncharted paths. The Hilux does it all with ease and a smile. Look at the grille, isn't that a smiling happy face from Toyota? We did a plethora of custom-built experiences to test the indestructible stature of this vehicle, and it passed with flying colors. But what was more interesting was the fact that it was raining heavily and the marked paths had all gone. The tire marks washed away and the routes were more treacherous. But never for even a second did I feel that I was not in control. I always felt safe and in control of this beast. Talking about safety, which has always been paramount for Toyota, the Hilux comes with 7 SRS airbags, traction control, vehicle stability control, parking sensors, ABS with brake assist and electronic brake force distribution, and much more. In terms of dimension, it has 1865 mm height and 1855 mm of width. The wheelbase is 3085 mm, while the length is over 5 meters at 5325 mm. But that's not all. Being an all-road adventure vehicle, it has better approach and departure angle than its sibling Fortuner. So whatever adventure you have seen people doing with their Fortuner, this can do more of everything. And this is at the stock level, which is very unlikely that people would leave it to that and not turn it into a monster truck like the one we saw at Hilux Drive in Rishikesh. Well, the Toyota Hilux might be something new for the Indian consumer, but it has been around since the 1968. It's in its 8th generation and we're finally getting lucky. The 8th generation has come to India and we're going to see a lot of it on the roads, and we're excited about it. And first of all, we'll stand and talk about the design of this car. It may look very similar to a Fortuner because, you know, the Fortuner is based on this platform, not the other way around, which people feel that, you know, Fortuner has been cut into, you know, make space for a pickup truck, but it's the other way around. This is the IMV platform that Toyota has, and out of that comes the Fortuner and the Innova. So this is actually the car that we should owe it all to, that we got the Fortuner and the Innova. So first off, as I mentioned, the design is quite similar but very rugged, very different angles and design elements to make it look like an Hilux. Up front you get that badging which says Hilux. Well, it is Hilux, you can't really miss on that, but still huge branding of Hilux. Then you see these, you know, there's a lot of debris on it because we have been driving it like it should be driven, and we are up here in Rishikesh. So obviously we took such paths that are unpaved, unmarked, and you can see the kind of ground clearance this vehicle gets. The skid plates and everything just gives it like amazing kind of approach angle and depart angles. We'll talk about that in detail when we're driving and doing all those stunts, I would say. But first up, The headlights are auto headlights. These are all DRLs and with auto sensing. As soon as it sees it's dark, it switches it on itself. And the grille, this trapezoidal grille, is all chrome up here, then blacked out panels, blacked out again here, and then chrome again. And these are not with the car, these are reflectors put specially for the kind of road driving we're doing nowadays. A lot of accessories also in this car. We'll show you the accessory pack and everything in detail, because there is a car, fully loaded car parked right in front of us. We'll show you a quick round of how you can accessorize this car, put on adventures pack and sports pack. But let's move to the side and talk about how different it is from the side, because almost cut into half what a Fortuner is. So on the sides you get 18 inches of alloy wheels. You can see the fender lining is thick and rugged. You can see this elements over here, the reflection over here, this chrome elements, chrome ORVMs, all chrome laden. Then the footstep is sturdy. You can feel that when you stand on it. You can literally stand on it. It's really sturdy. It is an adventure vehicle but with luxury, so that's why again a huge Hilux branding right here. But as you move further up from the front door, you notice things are changing over here. The door at the rear is very different from what you see on a Fortuner. Over here it's like a normal, till here it's like a normal Fortuner. You get your bar to get up and stand on the car, get inside, outside. This is like, again, a lot of elements over here that differentiates it. And as soon as you move from the rear door, you know it's a Hilux. It's again Hilux branding here, Hilux over here. But all these are also, you have to remember, a lot of it is over here accessorized. So this is an accessory that has the Hilux branding. And we move on to the rear and talk about how different it is from the rear, because this vehicle is actually a pickup truck or a luxury pickup truck. So what all can you do with this? Instead of just putting your stuff here, you can put a canopy, you can cover it up, and a lot of other things that you can do with this car to make it a more versatile luxury vehicle and not just a pickup truck. So let's move to the rear design and talk about how different it is from the rear. So on the rear, it's very different. You get a deck which you can sit on, put your stuff on, park a motorbike. An actual motorbike can be put here, and it's really sturdy. Well, this can further be changed to whatever you like a covered version, open version, a soft top. A lot of options over here to personalize this car. And obviously big Toyota branding, Hilux branding, and again Toyota over here. And you know, the footstep also is like so nicely done. You can just step on it and get inside. Good use of chrome elements over here, huge steel chrome bumpers, chrome elements over here. The lights are very different. The rear lights are very different from what you get on a Fortuner. So that's, you know, summing up all the design elements of this car. And it comes in 5 different colors that you can get in. This is the red one. There are 2 whites, black and silver. So we're inside the Toyota Hilux. This is the key, which is usual Toyota key that you get, lock and lock button, the Toyota logo, and that's about it. But what is different in the interior is, of course, you see a lot of buttons that you would not see in other Toyota cars. This is the hill descent control button, DAC. You also have DSC off button. You have differential lock button. You have your H2, which is high 2. Then you have H4, which is like the 4-wheel drive, and you want to convert it into H4. So usually people drive in H2 in the city because you don't want to, you know, put all 4 wheels at power at all times. So you save on fuel economy. But when you need that power, you put it in H4. You see a sign here. And if you need to put it in L4, which is low 4, when you're going like you want to lock the differentials and you're stuck in a mud or stuck in a debris, you put it in neutral and then you put L4. Otherwise, you can't put it in L4. You can't be driving and putting L4. For H2 and H4, you can do it on the fly, but for L4, you need to put it in neutral and do that. Similarly, when you are parked, you can put it in differential. You'll see this red. That means the differentials are locked and the power will be limited to certain amount of gear. So this is for low, it shows. It also beeps. Differential lock is also on. So all these things tell you that the car is already in that mode. You can switch it off from here. Also, you see wireless charging pad here. It's an accessory right now, but whenever you put your phone, automatically it starts charging. You also see that light that it is charging or not. So that is a good thing that it's available. Like you can do your wireless charging through this car. You also have two more buttons, which is eco mode and power mode. It also shows in the meter that you are in eco mode or power mode. Power is just a PWR symbol. Eco has this whole graphic to it. The infotainment system has a lot of information. You get your mileage, your cruising range, and you can connect through apps. You can do a smart device link with your Toyota app, which has connected features, a lot of connected features where you can set boundaries, you can see speed limits, do a lot of things with that, and you also see if the car is out of the perimeter. So in terms of USB ports, you have one USB port right up front. You have lighter ports throughout the car, two in the front, one inside here in the armrest, one at the back. So a lot of lighter ports where you can connect a lot of things. And in terms of glove box, you get dual glove box, one on the top, one at the bottom. Amount of storage is a lot. You also get a lock on this one, so you can lock it up. The clock is here, and this is the AC vents, which are very slim and placed right on top. The meters are analog yet, but you have a digital infotainment screen which gives you a lot of information, and you can toggle through that. You can control the range, music, eco alternator. The traction control is on and off. Your cruise control settings are right here when you do the steering here. You also get parking sensor and reverse camera. So parking sensors are on both sides, but the camera is only at the rear. So one camera, not 360-degree cameras. Of course, no sunroof. Toyotas usually don't have sunroof, and I'm happy that it doesn't have sunroof, because this is an all-terrain vehicle and it can topple. It can be in very much of adventurous zones, so it's better not to have that sunroof, which could be, in a way, giving it away that safety ratings and all those strength that the vehicle has. So in terms overall, I think it's got a good amount of space all over in the cabin. The seating comfort is great. You have electronically controlled seats because this is the top model, so you can adjust them. You have your bar handles where you can just grab them and grab handles for the rear passenger, also for the front passenger also. Comfort at the rear is something that I want to show you, because it's not as spacious as you would expect, because obviously the car is cut into half. So you'll see, even though this is a longer chassis, remember that it's a longer wheelbase than a Fortuner. It's not comparable to a Fortuner because it's a different vehicle altogether. I'll repeat that. People will draw a lot of comparison with the Fortuner, but trust me, it's a different vehicle. Let's not draw any comparisons between the cars. They look similar, they are from the same company, but that doesn't mean they're the same vehicles. A lot of things have been changed in this car. Now let's sit at the rear and see how much is the seating comfort and can you really fit in. Let's see that. So in terms of the rear, I think the space is not great, but it's not tight also. If I'm like 5'10" driving in front and my seat was adjusted to my standards, I still have good amount of knee room, leg room and headroom, of course. So it's not like really crammed up as you would have thought that it's a smaller cabin, but it's not really crammed up. Well, a lot will depend how is the seat placed in the front of you. So if it's really all the way back, I think you might feel a little tight up here, but it's not really that bad actually. You get your own armrest, you get your arm rest on the center with cup holders, you get your blowers for AC, you have hooks to hang things, you have magazine holders, you have holder here, you have bar holders on the door, you have holders on the pillar to get in and get out, so it's easier. You have your steps, so it's kind of easy. And if 3 people want to sit here, it's still not really bad actually. See that? I mean, obviously it's a bit upright because of the armrest in the middle, but otherwise quite comfortable. The seats are very cushy, comfortable, enough thigh support. But see, again, comfortable seats. I wish there was more space, but if it's not, I'm not complaining actually. If you see a lot of people complaining, maybe they're very tall or they've adjusted the seat in such a way that it feels uncomfortable to them. Something that will feel different is like glass right here. As soon as you sit and look back, oh, okay, the glass is too near to me. But that's how it is. And there are some hooks over here also, maybe for curtain or something. Your own armrest, your own headrest, your own armrest. See, people get their headrest. This is really slimmer version of it. And that's about it. I think all get their own seat belts. Safety first. So that's about it. I think the interior is good enough. Rest is now your final verdict. What do you think of the car? Because it's a completely different vehicle, different set of features, and a very, very different category of cars that have come into India. If we want to embrace it or crib about it, that's up to us. Well, how could an adventure video be complete without showing a lot of adventure? So this is the Hilux drive that we did, and Yes, we're standing in the rain just for you to tell you that this car is capable of any kind of terrain, and so are we. So this is a lot of fun in the making, but you let us know in the comment section below what was your favorite part of this drive. Thanks for watching the Unbiased Vlog.